Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet my CPA, and she's going to talk about why her firm is so different. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when I think about special relationships, I think about your family doctor, your family lawyer, and of course, your CPA. You've got to have the right CPA, somebody who understands your business, understands the tax law, and is able to allow you to keep the most money possible without giving way too much to Uncle Sam. To talk about that today, Poonam Sandhu. She is a CPA and money manager and a partner with Mees Sandhu CPA. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your show.
Well, you're awesome, and I saw the movie A Beautiful Mind one time, and all those numbers and the way some people are gifted with numbers and others aren't. I was an okay student. I was certainly not a straight A student. Right. But tell me about your upbringing.
Well, I'm originally from India. I did my 12th grade in India and came here to do my bachelor's and master's and eventually a CPA. So my upbringing was very modest. I'm the only child. My dad, I guess, always wanted me to do something big in life, and I always wanted to make him proud. So I guess I was a straight A student right from the beginning. I used to work really hard and get straight A's and felt good about it. And math was something which I was, I think, good about while growing up. So.
Okay, so when you told your dad, I'm going to go into CPA and finances, what was his reaction?
I think he was very happy. He wanted me to do whatever I would like to do, but I guess when I was finishing my CPA exam, like we were talking earlier, I was actually in South Korea because my husband was in U.S. Army there for 4 years. So I went to Guam every time I had to take the exam because you couldn't take it there in the base on the South Korea. So that was a journey in itself. And when I completed my 4th exam, I felt really relieved. And I remember calling my husband and my dad, and they were so overjoyed that I was able to finish that, and that too outside the country. So that was a challenge in itself. Mm. Yes.
And you told me just before the show that you lost your father about a year or so ago?
Yes, I lost him in 2021. He had a liver failure. I miss him very much. Some days are very difficult, some are not, but I know I have good memories with him. And I know he's watching me right now. That Absolutely. He must be very proud. So.
Absolutely, I know he is. I want to put your website up so people can see your partner, Dwayne Mees.
Yes.
Now, you guys, I think, make a great pair.
Thank you.
So talk about some of your strengths and his strengths and how it works together.
I think Dwayne brings the calm in me. He is a problem solver, and he's great with people. And I think he has a great understanding and a capacity to listen. He is a great listener. You can actually tell him anything, and he would listen, and he would find a solution. And that's what he does with his clients. I guess we complement each other in a way. Whenever we have a problem or anything, we talk to each other. And I think we bring a great contrast to the numbers versus what we need to do and the planning strategies.
Well, and I want to compliment you because you're a people person, and not everybody who's good with numbers is good at relating to the clients. Have you always been outgoing?
I think I have been. I am a Leo, so it comes naturally to me, I guess.
Sure.
But yes, I think I have been. most of my clients now that I am bringing, and plus Dwayne's, they are all mouth-to-mouth marketing. They are referrals. So I get one, they tell two, and then 4 and 6. So I guess it's all about sitting with the client, trying to understand their own personal needs, because it should not be that, okay, you bring your tax return, you kind of do it, and you're done, and bye-bye. You can do that anywhere. You can go to H&R Block and get it done. So I think what sets us apart is that we kind of sit with the client, we understand their personal needs, and also we try to plan ahead. If there is something that's going on this year that they end up paying lots of tax, we need to understand what we can do better next year.
Sure.
Okay. There has to be a planning strategy. There has to be where they can invest. Because at the end of the day, we all have to make money. And if you're working hard to earn that money, then we need to protect that.
Sure.
So I guess we do that.
And you guys are both personable, and I like it that you start relationships with clients and you keep them forever.
Yes.
I think
You're one of them.
yeah, I'm one of them. I know. I think you were doing work with my wife before I got married, and her mom, and so it's you're a kind of a family tradition. We're gonna put some video up on the screen because I want you to talk about how you work with clients and why it's so important to have that trust, because anybody can do taxes, but you're inviting people into your life and vice versa to really kind of like bare their soul and say, here are the dumb things I did, here are the smart things I did.
Right. I think the first and the foremost is the trust. They should be able to tell you everything. You need to not judge. If there is a mistake that they did, or if there is something that they are saying that this is something they shouldn't have done, but they did, and they should be able to tell you everything, just like to the doctor or, to a family or somebody they could trust. And you should be able to say, okay, I understand, but then at the same time, you need to take all these precautions, and they should be able to tell you everything. And sometimes they forget, There might be some time they'll be like, oh, I invested in this, or I had a son last year. Is that something you want to know? Yes, I do. So I guess that's why sitting with them and trying to understand what happened in the whole year is the key. It should not just be, okay, drop your papers off, bye-bye, I'll see you, and then prepare the return. So it's very important, and that's what Dwayne does. And both of us, actually. We kind of sit with the client. It's like a family atmosphere. We try to find out what's going on, what they did in this year. And then sometimes they don't know that this information is important, but while talking to them, we kind of know, oh, okay, you did this. Now tell me something about that.
Yes.
Or I can get you some tax deductions on that, or this is important. So I guess, yeah.
Let's talk about the tax planning strategy, because not all CPAs are good in that area. They might be good at doing other functions, but nobody wants to pay more than their fair share of taxes.
Correct.
So talk about why it's so important to find the right CPA firm that is gifted in tax planning.
I guess when we come to this, there is like 3 buckets, I call it. One is the tax now, one is tax later, and one is the tax advantage. So tax now is you bring your stuff in, I see your W-2s, 1099s, all that, and then I prepare a tax return. Here is what you owe. Tax later is we kind of sometimes tell the client, why don't you put it in, 401k or a SEP IRA or a Roth, I wouldn't say, 401k, SEP IRA, all that good stuff, which is good. You're deferring the tax, but then at the end of the day, when you're trying to withdraw that money, you end up paying lots of tax on it, sometimes even 30%, which is a lot when you're retired, because that's your income.
Yes.
And then you're paying tax on it, which is like, why are you taxing me on that my money, And then there's tax advantage, where it's like municipal bonds or HSA or Roth. But you cannot plan your retirement on those 3 things.
Sure.
It's not possible. So then there's a revenue code section 7702, and I think life insurance policies is a great investment tool. That's something that you can do with living benefits, not when you die, because there's a whole lot. So I guess you have to invest in a nice, better vehicle where you can leave that for your family.
Sure.
Or even, in fact, when you are still here, you can have that life insurance policy with living benefits. And that's something which we withdraw, there's no tax on it.
Sure.
So that's the tax-free vehicle.
Well, I like it that you and Dwayne are completely honest with your clients. If the client wants to deduct something that is going to be an IRS red flag, you will say, no, we don't want to do that.
Exactly, as long as we can back it up with. We have the proof, we know why we are taking this, and we are able to take that. That's a
Outstanding.
business expense.
So
yes.
you're in growth mode. What do you see for the next couple years? Would you like to have multiple offices?
Yes. I plan to have my own office soon enough in Frisco as well. Right now we're in just Garland, so I have lots of Frisco and Plano client base where they have to come all the way to Garland. So I guess I plan to be at least 2 days in Frisco where I can take up those clients and then come 3 days in Garland. Is the long-term plan, yes.
Well, okay, so look into the camera on the left and talk to the viewer who thinks, okay, I might need to call you guys and visit with you guys. What's the process? Is there any obligation to come meet you guys and sit down?
Well, if they want to, yes, for sure. You're more than welcome. You come in. I do initial consultation, which is free. And then I'm very accessible on the phone because one of my greatest strengths that my clients tell me is that I'm very prompt. So you call me, I have a direct line with an extension. You leave me a message, I'll be able to call within a day. And then otherwise I'll just, pick up your call and talk to you. So I'm very accessible. And I'm very prompt, is what I've been told.
Outstanding. Well, I can vouch for her and Dwayne. They've been amazing in my family's life for the last couple decades, and I highly recommend them. We're going to end with the website, which is Mees Sandhu CPA.net. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.